Assalamu alaikum. I think Sheikh's joining now. Just seeing him coming, so.
Yeah, so are we ready to go? Sayyidi Bilal, I've texted you. I texted saying about 15 minutes. Did you get that text message?
No, Sheikh, I didn't actually. Sorry.
No, if you can just, it's just before you have texted me actually. If you can just. It's on WhatsApp, yeah.
Yes, Sheikh. I didn't read that. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
I think my message was open, so I did actually notice that you messaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, let's go back to the text. Obviously, we're going to do just to compensate that missing half an hour. If you guys don't mind, we'll do half an hour extra, okay, just to compensate that missing bit. So if it is now 3, so it means we're going to do till 5, if you guys don't mind. Yeah. Just to get my copy. I remember when I used to study in Darul Uloom, actually, the first time I have completed the Usul Shashi in Darul Uloom. So I used to read it with Ahsan al-Hawashi. Obviously, the Hashi is not permissible for the student to study. You know, the Shuruh and Hawashi is not permissible. Yeah, so but unfortunately, I was just forced to do it. Yeah, so because I was very into the usul, I wanted to understand it in depth. So within the first year, so it was 1995, I read it 4 times actually with 4 different shuyukh. Okay, so so 3 times it was usul shashi, and once it was tasil usul. Okay, so Sheikh Badakhshani, one of my teachers actually, who taught me usul fiqh also. Okay, so I think what is that? Okay. Saidi, are we in the hatta or are we still in Kaila? Yeah. Okay, so let's read the last part, please, of ila. So because it is just connected, you know. قال المصنف رحمه الله ونفعنا بعلومه وبركاته بكم آمين. وبمثله لو قال لا أفارقك أو تقضي ديني يكون بمعنى حتى تقضي ديني. So if you remember, أو okay, so in the positive sentence, okay, so it will refer to one of 2, okay, and then we said that if you are saying that both, so you are giving option of choosing one of 2, means both are mubah things, okay. So and then, but in the negative sentence, if you remember, he did say that it will be generalized, means both, okay. And then if you remember, he said that أو sometimes could mean could be synonymous to hatta, which means until. And then he gave us the example saying وبمثله, so it is أو meaning until, as follows. If you say لا أفارقك أو تقضي ديني, so if you say I'm not going to leave you alone, أو تقضي ديني, so أو تقضي ديني in here means until you pay off the debt, okay. So he says يكون بمعنى حتى, so أو in here will have the meaning of حتى, okay. Keep in your mind, guys, in balagha, okay, in balagha we have this act, okay, so we call it tashrib or tadmin. Both are same thing. So for example, sometimes tashrib means there is word with specific meaning, but then you bring and enforce, okay, or squeeze in the meaning of some other word into it. Okay, so we call that tashrib or tadmin. Okay, so this is what is happening. I think you guys did do the did you guys start the balagh or not yet? Because usul is like a side by side with balagh, especially this part. Okay, then he says, so he says, كإلى. Okay, so it is similar. It is similar to the فصل حتى للغاية. You know, my copy is a bit strange. حتى yeah, that's how it should be. حتى للغاية. كإلى, that's how it should be. Yes. So حتى is حتى is for the غاية. غاية means it's like destination. Okay, for example, you are traveling from one place to another place. So the place where you are traveling, so that is غاية. Okay, so your destination. Okay, so the same thing is, if you remember, we say about, let's say that you are studying fiqh. What is the theme of the fiqh? موضوع. Okay, and what is the غاية? What is the destination? So, which means that by obtaining this knowledge, where are you going? Okay, so the غاية. Okay. So غاية is destination. So he says حتى للغاية. So حتى, this word, okay, for the like a destination, means until. حتى means until. كإلى. So it is similar to إلى. Keep in your mind, in Arabic language, we do not have 100%, 200% identical words. Okay, so there will be definitely some difference. For example, قعد and جلس. Okay, so there is difference. So both in Arabic, in English, translated as sitting. Okay, but in Arabic, as far as I know, or as far as I can think, even in any other language, there is no two identical words, because the default condition of humans is laziness. Understand? And lazy, so the default condition of the people that they do not have spare things, because humans, by default condition, they are lazy creatures. Okay. حتى للغاية كإلى. So حتى is for the destination, similar to إلى. فإذا كان ما قبلها قابلا للامتداد وما بعدها يصلح للغاية له كانت الكلمة عاملة بحقيقتها. So he says, if what is before حتى, okay, could be extended, so it is extendable. Okay, and what is coming after the word of حتى, so if that is possible to make into the destination, so means we will be using the word of حتى for its literal meaning. Okay, so for example, let's say I was walking. Okay, I was walking حتى وصلت, until I reached, for example, city of Oldham. Okay, so what is before حتى is extendable, yes, because walking could be extended. Okay, and what is, I mean, in terms of reaching Oldham, yeah, that could be goal for walking. Means حتى in here is used for its literal meaning. Okay. What did you guys do? You made me to look like an alien, like a blue alien. Normally aliens are green, isn't it? Okay, so مثاله, so the example of that is ما قال محمد إذا قال عبدي حر إن لم أضربك حتى يشفع فلان. So Imam Muhammad said, if someone says, my slave is free if I do not hit you until that person intercedes. Okay. أو حتى تصيح. Okay, or you say, my slave is free if I do not hit you until you scream. Yeah, so Hanafi is a bit crazy, you know. أو حتى تشتكي بين يدي. Or for example, someone says, my slave is free if I do not hit you until you complain to me. أو حتى يدخل الليل. Or another example, my slave is free if I do not hit you until night comes, until the night. So all of these examples, كانت الكلمة عاملة بحقيقتها. So in these, all of the examples, will be taken on its literal meaning, which is for the غاية. Okay. Why? لأن الضرب بالتكرار يحتمل الامتداد. Okay, so because if you remember what comes before حتى, extendable. So by repeating the hitting, you can extend the act. Okay, and وشفاعة فلان وأمثالها تصلح غاية للضرب. And whatever is mentioned after hatta, for example, someone interceding or night coming, so all of these things could be, okay, you can say a limit, okay, where you are going to stop your action, okay, hitting, okay. So it means we are taking the word of hatta literally in all of these examples. Okay, guys, if you remember, okay, so it's just side note for your information. If you remember, we did say there are two schools in usul al-fiqh, okay, Hanafi and mutakallimin. Okay, so if you remember, for example, in fiqh we have 4 in Ahlul Sunnah, isn't it? Okay, but in usul we have 2, okay, Hanafis and mutakallimin. So if you remember, what is the Hanafi? So if you remember, we said Hanafi school means analyzing the thought process of the early mashayikh and extracting the principles from their action. So here is the best example. So as you can see, Imam Shashi using the statement of Imam Muhammad in Zahir Riwaya, okay, and extracting the principle. And the principle is hatta, is for ghaya. Yeah. And what is the proof of that? Because I'm Hanafi, I'll be referring to the text of the early mashayikh, and Imam Muhammad is one of them. Understand? So that is actually division between these schools. Okay, and obviously mutakallimin, their act, I mean their way of setting up the principle is pure rational. Rational means they will be setting up everything from zero based on the rational reasoning. So they will not be extracting it from the statements of the mashayikh, but they will be doing it independently, rationally. Okay, so that was the main idea between dividing the schools of usul al-fiqh into Hanafi way and into the mutakallimin way. So obviously the mutakallimin way is Maliki, Shafi'i, and Hanbali. Okay, Sayyidi. Then, so based on that, فلو امتنع عن الضرب قبل الغاية حنث. So based on that, because hatta means until, means if he will stop hitting until the destination is reached, so he will break his oath, means he has to make the penalty. He will make the penalty. ولو حلف لا يفارق غريمه حتى يقضيه دينه ففارقه قبل قضاء الدين حنث. So based on the same principle, if someone says, I swear by God that I'm not going to leave you alone until you pay me back the debt. Okay, so if this person leaves him alone until he pays him back, so it means he has to pay the kafara because he did break his oath. Okay, so based on that, hatta, the literal meaning of hatta is the destination. Okay, so for lil-ghaya, hatta lil-ghaya, similar to ila. I would love to know what Hamadani would comment on this, because he's linguist, you know, and Shashi is usuli. Okay, so in the linguistic matters, usulis, unless they have skills in the linguistic field, we do not accept that. Okay, Sayyidi. فإذا تعذر العمل بالحقيقة لمانع كالعرف كما لو حلف أن يضربه حتى يموت أو حتى يقتله حمل على الضرب الشديد باعتبار العرف. Yeah. So sometimes, obviously, we did speak about it. Okay, so if you remember, we do have 4 types of حقيقة. Do you remember? حقيقة مستعملة, حقيقة مهجورة, حقيقة عرفية. It's different types of. So sometimes we just dismiss the literal meaning because of some certain excuse, because of قرينة. Okay, so we call it as either عذر or قرينة. Okay, so just keep it in your mind. قرينة is some independent proof, okay, diverting some certain action to different direction. فإذا تعذر العمل بالحقيقة, so if it's not possible to act to the, upon the literal meaning, لمانع, because of some reason. كالعرف, for example, عرف, like custom, like social standards, social norms with regards to some certain, you can say, context. كما لو حلف, for example, someone says, someone takes oath saying, I will hit you until I will kill you. Okay, so that is normally based on the urf. Okay, it is if people want to say, I will hit you painfully, so they say that type of word. Okay, so in that case, what do we do? حمل على الضرب الشديد. So in this context, killing in here means hitting painfully. Okay, severe hitting. باعتبار العرف, based on the urf. Okay, Sayyidi. Then he says, وإن لم يكن الأول قابلا للامتداد والآخر صالحا للغاية وصلح الأول سببا والآخر جزاء يحمل على الجزاء. So he says, but so if you remember in the right beginning, let's make silent or people will carry on. So حتى, okay, is used for غاية with a condition that what is before hatta is extendable, and what is coming after hatta could be set up as goal, as you can say destination. So then we act, we take it literally. So for ghaya. But if what is coming before hatta is not extendable, or what is coming after hatta, okay, is not possible to establish as a goal, okay, so in that case we look. Okay, so is it possible? Is it possible that what is before hatta is cause and what is after hatta is effect? So if yes, so then we take it as like that. Okay, cause and effect. Again, I would seek the advice from Hamadani, because look, Imam Shashi is saying the default meaning of hatta is for ghaya, and but as soon as we remove the default condition, which is literal meaning, so the priority to the, prioritized meaning, metaphoric meaning of hatta is cause and effect. Okay, so obviously I would seek advice from the linguists, because setting up the, you can say, superiority of one metaphoric meaning over the rest, okay, that is the linguist principles. We need linguist principles. But most of the time, okay, so as soon as we remove the default condition, which is the literal meaning, so all of the metaphoric meanings are equal. There is no superiority. Understand? So all are equal, okay, until we get this context. Only context will give that superiority. Okay, so that is the linguistic. It is the in balagha. You guys will learn it in. Sidi Bilal, are you guys teaching balagha? How far did you go with balagha?
I don't think, Sheikh, we're doing balagha.
Okay. So inshallah, when you guys will study, so you will learn it there. Okay. So but then how to understand what Imam Shashi is saying? So I say he did not mean the superiority of the like a meaning, metaphoric meaning, but he's saying if this is doable, so that could be one of the options. Okay, Sayyidi. So the example of that, مثاله ما قال محمد رحمه الله إذا قال لغير عبده إذا قال لغيره عبدي حر إن لم آتيك حتى تغذيني فأتاه فلم in my copy is mistaken فأتاه فلم يغذه لا يحنث. Okay guys, keep in your mind, Usul al-Shashi is written by 3 independent authors. Shashi is one of them. So that's why time to time you see discrepancy between the principle and the example, you know. So the example of that, he says, Imam Muhammad, if Imam Muhammad, if someone says, takes oath, okay, saying, my slave will be free if I do not come to you, so that you can feed me, so we can have lunch together. So you can feed me lunch. Okay. So now question. Coming. Okay. Coming. Coming to his friend. So this act of coming to his friend. It's my question to you guys. Okay. Answer me. So because he said, what is before hatta, is it extendable or not? First question. Second question, what is after hatta? Can it be destination for what is before hatta? Okay, so if yes, then we take the literal meaning. If not, so one of them conditions are not fitting, then we go for the metaphoric meaning. So now my question to you guys is, what before hatta, is it extendable or not? What do you guys think? Yes, Lily.
Sheikh, I think that like coming to somewhere, I think that's extendable.
Excellent. Yes, because how you can extend it?
Because you can keep on going. Right?
Exactly, you can keep on going. Means what before hatta is extendable. Okay, but the second condition, what is after hatta, which is arriving, which is your friend feeding you lunch. Can that be? You can say destination. Can that be destination for coming or not?
No, because it doesn't stop you.
Exactly. Excellent. So means we cannot take the literal meaning. Okay, so then we look into other possibility, which is metaphor. Can your arrival be a reason for having lunch in your friend's house or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Means we take the metaphoric meaning. Excellent. I think everyone else is sleeping, yeah? Because they thought this black man on the screen, they're scared, you know, they're falling unconscious, you know. It's, you guys have to chess up Sayyidi Bilal. I don't know what is he doing with my screen. Today I'm either black or blue. Do you know that Munkar Nakir? Okay, what's the Munkar Nakir in that hadith? 2 black, 2 blue. Okay, and then our Mashayikh said their skin color is black, their eye color is blue. Okay, Munkar Nakir, do you remember? Al-Aswadani al-Azraqani, 2 black and 2 blue. Okay, so single chain narration. Okay, Sayyidi, let's go back to the text. Mithaluhu law qala. So for example, he says, Abdi hurrun, my slave is free, illam atika, if I do not come to you, hatta, so that. Okay, so in here we do not translate it by literal meaning, which is until. Okay, but it is so that, because cause and effect, metaphoric meaning for hatta. So that tughadhiyani, so that you will offer lunch to me. Okay, fa'atahu. So in that scenario, if I will come to you, falam yughadhihi, but you did not feed me, for example, the ghidha, okay, or you did not feed me food, lam la yahnathu. So in that case, I will not break my oath. Why? Because hatta in here is not for its literal meaning. Okay, but in here, I did fulfill my oath because the meaning is I came, you know, cause and effect. I came, okay, with the reason of getting food, being fed by you. Understand? So it means I did fulfill, because the reason for me coming to your place is to have food with you. Understand? So it means I did fulfill. But, and then regardless if you feed me or not, I did fulfill my oath. لأن التغذية, so in here offering food, لا يصلح غاية, because it cannot be as like a stopping point, as like a destination. Okay, للإتيان, for coming. But هو داع إلى زيادة إلى زيادة الإتيان. So is it زيادة? زيادة is okay. So بل هو داع للإتيان. That's how it should be. But it is reason for coming. Okay, so having food together, it is reason for coming and not like a destination for coming. Okay. وصلح جزاء, but we can use it as like a reward, okay, as like a cause and effect. فيحمل على الجزاء. So because of that, we take the meaning of cause and effect. Yeah. فيكون بمعنى لام كي. So that's why we use the حتى in here as if, I mean, synonymously to li, okay, which has the meaning of K. Oh, do you know, normally, أتيت لأكرمك. So in here, لكي أكرمك, isn't it? Okay, so it's also in the sarf because, you know, lamu K means, so when we mention this lam, which is showing the reasoning, okay, normally we delete kaf, isn't it? So that's why this lam is called lamu K. Okay. Sayyid Bilal, are they how far did they go with the grammar, with Nahu? What are you guys studying in Nahu?
They're not doing any standard text, but it's a combination. So
Okay.
we're not doing like any Darsin Nizami books, but
Okay.
it's our own note.
Dictation, isn't it? Imla.
We're extracting it from there, so in a different way.
Yeah. So your guys, just keep in your mind, your knowledge of usul will not be full if you will not perfect grammar and balagha also, because usul is to do with the texts, isn't it? So obviously, for example, ijma and qiyas is more rational. Okay, so mainly like ijma is more, qiyas is more rational. Okay, but Quran and Sunnah, we do have rationality in it, but also it is to extract the meaning from the text. For that, you have to have tough, okay, linguistic skills. Okay, so including all of the linguistic skills. So it is sarf, nahwu, balagha, all of them. Okay, so yes.
That for advanced studies, people need to focus on Arabic more than anything else.
Yeah, definitely, yes. Yeah. Okay, Sayyidi. وإذا تعذر هذا بأن لا يصلح الآخر جزاء للأول حمل على العطف المحض مثاله إلى آخره. So if even this is not possible, so you cannot use حتى as, for example, cause and effect, okay, then حمل على العطف. So in that case, we just treat it as like عطف. عطف means and. Okay, for example, fulan and fulan came. So wow, and in here is just عطف. مثاله, for example, ما قال محمد رحمه الله إذا قال عبدي حر إن لم آتك حتى أتغدى عندك اليوم. So if someone says, my slave is free if I do not come to you and have a food with you. Okay. So in here, coming cannot be like a I mean, having food together cannot be destination, okay? And also it cannot be as like cause and effect, because he's not saying, so when he says, illam atika hatta ataghadda indaka. So it's not that, so that you can feed me, but he's saying, so if I do not come to you and if I do not have food with you, it's not that you are feeding me, but it's I'm eating with you. Okay, so means it cannot be also cause and effect. Cannot be. Means, so it's just normal atf. Abdi hurrun, my slave is free, illam atika, if I do not come to you, hatta, and ataghadda indak, and have a food in your house, al-yawma, today. Aw illam ta'tini, hatta tataghadda indi al-yawm. Or for example, saying, my slave is free, if I do not come to me and have a food with me. فأتاه فلم يتغدى عنده في اليوم في ذلك اليوم حنث. So in that case, if he comes but does not have food together, so in that case he will break his oath. So his slave is free. Why? Because حتى in here means and. means together. So just coming is not sufficient, because hatta means doing this and this also together. Understand? وذلك, and the reason for that is لأنه لما أضيف كل واحد من الفعلين إلى ذات واحد لا يصلح أن يكون فعله جزاء لفعله. So when we have attached both of the actions to the same person, okay, so if you remember in the previous example, two actions but attached to two different people. One is me coming to you, and the second is that you feeding me. So it is to me, so means it could be cause and effect. So action from me gets reward or reaction from you. Understand? But when both of the actions are coming from the same person, okay, so it cannot be action and a reaction. So like cause and effect from the same person. Okay, so that's why فيحمل على العطف المحضي. So that's why we say it's just عطف, means both of the actions coming from the same person, both are coming together. Understand? So it's not as cause and effect. فيكون المجموع شرطا للبر. Okay, so means both of the actions are condition for you to fulfill your oath. Okay, Imam Shatibi, Maliki scholar, he argues really heavily. He argues saying that the linguistic masail should not be included into usul al-fiqh. But for the linguistic masail, we do have the linguistic subjects. Okay, I do understand what he says. I mean, I do understand what he means. فصل إلى الانتهاء الغاية. So إلى means like the destination is ending. Okay, so expiring. ثم هو في بعض الصور يفيد معنى امتداد الحكم وفي بعض الصور يفيد معنى الإسقاط. So obviously in terms of when you limit, okay, so when you limit, so you do set up some limitation, some sign explaining the limitation, saying, so from here until this rock, it is your house. Okay, so from this rock to this rock. Understand? So you, if you want to limit something, so you have to set up some sign. Okay, so then, but then question arises. So is that limit included into the main default condition, or is it outside of that? So for that, ila could mean either this sometimes, and sometimes it could mean that also. Okay, depending on the context. Sidi Bilal, is it okay if you can just 5 minutes, please? Just 5 minutes. I will be back. Just 5 minutes break, please.
Inshallah, that's fine.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so okay, so okay, so in terms of setting up a limit, okay, we have two questions. Is that sign which is limiting, is that included into the main judgment or is it excluded? Understand? So ila independently does not mean that. Okay, so ila could mean this or that also. So means in terms of including and excluding, we have to seek for external clarification, because ila by itself does not clarify that. So it could be either to include or either to exclude. For both, ila is workable. But what indicates if it is included or excluded? So that's what he's going to explain now. So he says, ثم هو, and then في بعض الصور, sometimes in some of the scenarios, يفيد معنى امتداد الحكم. Okay, so it means that the حكم, the main judgment, okay, includes that غاية, okay, that limitation. وفي بعض الصور, and in some of the scenarios, يفيد معنى الإسقاط. Okay, so in some of the scenarios, it means that it excludes. Okay, in fact, imtidad means it is just reaching to the limit. Okay, and isqat means whatever is after this, that limitation is excluded, means the actual limitation is included. Okay, so isqat means whatever is after the limitation is excluded. Okay, means limitation itself is included. Okay, yeah. So he says, فإن أفاد الامتداد لا تدخل الغاية في الحكم. So if it is in terms of explaining that the judgment is up to the sign, means sign is not included. Okay. وإن أفاد الإسقاط تدخل. But if it is, if it means, إلى means that whatever is after the sign is excluded, means whatever, I mean, sign in itself is included. نظير الأولي. So the example of the first one. اشتريت هذا المكان إلى هذا الحائط لا يدخل الحائط في البيع. So if you say, I bought this land up to this wall, means wall is not included because it's امتداد. ونظير الثاني باع بشرط الخيار إلى 3 أيام. So for example, when you are selling, okay, you will say, but I have to think until 3 days. Okay, so means third day is included. So whatever after third day is excluded. So that is isqat. Okay. وبمثله, so based on that, لو حدث لا أكلم فلانا إلى شهر كان الشهر داخلا في الحكم. So based on that, as you can see, it's pure linguistic, isn't it? It's not really usuli, but it's pure linguistic thing. Okay, so you say, you take oath saying that I'm not going to talk to that person. Why? Because he married your cousin and you was planning to marry her. Okay, so you say, I take oath that I'm not going to talk to that person. Okay, so ila shahar, okay, until 1 month, means entire month is included. وقد أفاد فائدة الإسقاط ها هنا. So in here, until means excluding whatever is after the غاية, which is entire month, means only 1 month, and whatever after 1 month is excluded. So means after 1 month you will speak to him. Okay. Okay. وعلى هذا قلنا. So based on the same logic, based on the same principle, we Hanafi said, المرفق والكعب داخلان تحت حكم الغسل. So based on that, the mirfaq, elbow, and ka'b, the ankles, both are included into the حكم الغسل. Okay, in terms of حكم الغسل, washing, you know, the in wudu. Okay. في قوله تعالى, in the following verse. Do you remember? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة. Okay, so if you want to perform namaz, فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق, until the elbows. Okay. But then, do you have to wash the elbows also? Ila does not explain that, the word of ila. Okay. وامسحوا برؤوسكم, and then wipe over your heads. وأرجلكم. Okay. So if you remember nasb, according to Ahl Sunnah, refers to the ghusl. إلى الكعبين, up to your ankles. Okay. So إلى الكعبين. So ankles, are they included or not? Okay, so in here he says, according to the above principle, it is for isqat, means it shows that whatever is after the elbows are excluded. Means ghaya in here, the destination in here is included, because ila in here is for isqat. فإنه, and what's the reason? Why are you guys saying that ila in this example is for isqat? So obviously you guys know the difference. I mean, the disagreement in this issue is between Zufar and Abu Yusuf. Okay, Zufar says no, you don't have to wash this part. Okay, but up to the elbow. Okay, but Abu Yusuf says no, you have to wash it. So he says فإنه, because لولاها لاستوعبت الوظيفة جميع اليد, because. So you have to say that elbow in here is for isqat. Why? Because if this word of elbow would not be there, so then you had to wash the entire hand up to the shoulders, because hand includes all of that. I don't agree with this point actually, because the literal meaning, okay, the literal meaning of yad is actually kaf. Okay, and then kaf, if you remember, we don't have like identical synonyms. Yes, kaf is only one side, you know, but yad means both in Arabic language. But then what Abu Yusuf is trying to say in Arabic language, we call that zira. Zira is arm. Understand? So if it would not be there, okay, so if this word of the elbow would not be there, so it's not as Abu Yusuf is saying. So we wouldn't be washing up to the shoulders, but we would be washing up to the wrist. You understand? So because of this elbow, we are extending it, not only the palm, but up to the. So in here, even from the linguistic point of view, position of Zufar is much more stronger than position of Abu Yusuf. However. So ولهذا, and based on the same principle also, الركبة من العورة. Okay, so we say that the knees are part of aura. Okay, so obviously this disagreement is between us and Imam Shafi'i. Okay, so according to Imam Shafi'i, radiallahu anhu, the knees are not part of aura. Okay, but according to Hanafis, it is aura, and also other way around in terms of the belly button. Okay, so according to Hanafis, it's not part of aura, but according to Shafi'i, yes, it is. Okay. لأن كلمة إلى في قوله عليه الصلاة والسلام عورة الرجل من تحت السرة إلى الركبة. Okay, so in here, hadith saying the aura of a male is from underneath of the belly button إلى الركبة, up to the knees. So up to the knees, is it for isqat or is it for imtidad? Okay, so as you can see, according to Hanafis, it is for isqat, means after whatever is after the knees is not part of the aura.
Sheikh, how do you recognize when it's for imtidad and isqat?
Yeah, so the previous reasoning, you know. So if that destination would not be mentioned, the judgment would include everything. So means, but by limiting, you are saying whatever is after limitation is not included. Understand? But if you are extending it, so if if you would not mention that destination, okay, so the hukum would not reach that the entire place, means it is for imtidad, up to the sign. Understand? But if it includes everything, so it means you're including that and you are excluding what is after that. Understand? So that is the main thing, and that is a solid position. That is quite strong. Okay, but the problem is in the word, the meaning of yad. Abu Yusuf got it wrong. Muhammad got it wrong. Okay, so yad means this. So do you remember, for example, in the in terms of tayammum? Okay, so tayammum, فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا وَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ مِنْهُ. Okay, so in there we have very strong disagreement within Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Okay, including the Sahaba, Ammar ibn Yasir. Okay, so who used to believe that tayammum is wiping over the face and over the hand up. So this is the hand. So Ammar bin Yasir is the carrier of Arabic language. So he understood that it is this. But then Fuqaha came saying up to this. Okay, by qiyas to the wudu. As we know in Arabic, I mean, linguistically, we Hanafis do not accept the qiyas in the linguistic matters. Do you understand? So it means Zufar is quite tough in this issue. Okay, Saidi. So he says, تفيد فائدة لإسقاط فائدة الإسقاط, that's how it should be in Makra. فتدخل الركبة في الحكم. So because إلى in here is for إسقاط, not for امتداد, so because of that the knee will be included. وقد تفيد كلمة إلى, in my copy it says كلمته. Okay, I think it's wrong. وقد تفيد كلمة إلى تأخير الحكم إلى الغاية, ولهذا قلنا إذا قال لامرأته أنت طالق إلى شهر ولا نية لا يقع الطلاق في الحال عندنا خلافا لزفر, لأن ذكر الشهر يصلح لمد الحكم والإسقاط شرعا, والطلاق يحتمل التأخير بالتعليق فيحمل عليه. You know what is in your copy? No, we need another copy. Okay. وقد تفيد كلمة إلى تأخير الحكم إلى الغاية, ولهذا قلنا إذا قال لامرأته أنت طالق إلى شهر ولا نية له لا يقع الطلاق في الحال عندنا خلافا لزفر رحمه الله تعالى, لأن ذكر الشهر لا يصلح لمد الحكم, لأن ذكر الشهر لا يصلح لمد الحكم because of divorce. والإسقاط, yes, because of divorce شرعا, والطلاق يحتمل التأخير والتعليق فيحمل عليه إلى شهر. It's linguistic, it's pure linguistic thing. Okay, so he says, so because of that, so because obviously, you know, when you say until, so linguistically, can you delay some certain issue for some certain period? Yes, of course we can delay. Okay, so based on that, because you can delay, okay, so he says, if someone says أنت طالق إلى شهر, so without having intention, if someone says to his wife, you are divorced until 1 month, okay, and he does not have intention. Okay, now from the fiqh point of view, what is happening? So if someone says you are divorced, now it is insha, now he cannot take it back, but only what he can do is he can explain. Understand? So when he says you are divorced, divorce is done, but then he says until 1 month, so it is ambiguous what he could mean. Okay, so from the like a fiqh point of view, you cannot divorce temporarily. Divorce is permanent. There is no temporary divorce. Okay, but do I have temporary marriage? Disagreed upon. But do I have temporary divorce? No. So it means we cannot take it. We cannot take his word of until 1 month. We cannot take it with the meaning of temporary divorce. But divorce is there. So now question. What is going to happen? So according to Imam Zufar, we are going to dismiss what he said in terms of until 1 month. Because that does not make sense. Okay, because but then, as you can see, Abu Yusuf says no, it makes sense, and because we cannot take it as a temporary divorce, so means you are going to be divorced after 1 month. So it is similar to say you are divorced after 1 month. Can you do that? Yes, definitely you can. So it means we are keeping that extra ambiguous statement and giving that type of interpretation, valid interpretation. Okay, so what I think is it is just a takhrij of Imam Muhammad. Okay, so I don't think Imam Zufar said this, but anyway, it's like saying you are divorced, it is insha, as you know, and in fact we cannot refrain from insha, but you can clarify. Okay, and clarification is void, but insha is still there, means divorce is happening now. What he's saying according to Imam Zufar. Okay, so he says لأن ذكر الشهر يصلح لمد الحكم والإسقاط شرعا. Okay, so you can delay the divorce. Okay, you can delay the divorce in terms of as a ta'liq. Like you can delay it for 1 month, saying you are divorced after 1 month. Understand? والطلاق يحتمل التأخير بالتعليق, and definitely you can delay that, the divorce. فيحمل عليه. So based on that, we say that he was attaching the divorce for that 1 month thing. Yeah, so anyway.
So if he explains the divorce, if he explains himself here, is it still insha, or will it?
No, definitely will accept. Definitely will accept. Because ambiguous word, do you know the ijtihad of the imam is weaker than the explanation from the speaker. So if you remember, ijtihad opposes the tafsir. Okay, mufassar opposes the mu'awwal. Which one is stronger, mu'awwal or mufassar?
Mufassar.
Definitely. So that's the answer to your question. Okay, Saidi. بحث كون كلمة على للإلزام وفي للظرف. فصل, look, you know, like what is in your copy? كلمة فصل, كلمة على للإلزام. Yes, so okay, where is the في then? Okay, so it means that's incorrect. Okay, Saidi. فصل كلمة على للإلزام. You know this published copy. Okay, so I think it's دار الكتب العلمية most likely. Do you know the عمدة الحواشي is not reliable at all. We used to, in Pakistan, we used to have, you know, that like a handwritten copy, you know, like a printed copy. So that was the most reliable, but I don't know how they made it. فصل كلمة على للإلزام. So على means for necessitating, okay, or setting up compulsion. وأصله, and initially لإفادة معنى التفوق والتعلي, and initially على means تفوق, okay, so being above. In the summer, you have to cool yourself down. Okay, تفوق والتعلي. تفوق, being above. For example, الكتاب على الطاولة. So the book is on top of the table. والتعلي, and being above. ولهذا, so obviously, when you say when you say above, so the default word meaning of ala means being on top of something. Okay, so it means that metaphorically, it means necessity. Do you understand? So because each single word has only one literal meaning. Okay, so even mushtarak. Okay, so if you remember mushtarak, one word, okay, having several literal meanings. So if so, it is in one root there is only one literal meaning. Okay, so even in mushtarak, in one root there is only one literal meaning. Understand? So for example, when you say ayn, okay, ayn means eye, literal meaning of eye, and also ayn means spring water, and also ayn means matter, substance. Understand? So it means there are three literal meanings, yes, definitely, but each of them has got only one root. So for example, if I want to say I'm keeping my eye on you, understand? So so I in here used metaphorically, okay, but it is used in the same root of vision. So ayn for vision. So the root of vision in here, only one literal meaning, which is eye, this eye. Understand? So everything on this root, all of the meanings of the same path to do with the vision, okay, and monitoring. So all of that will be metaphor except one, which is eye. Do you understand? And also in terms of spring water. So if I will say to you, I did drink from ayn, so that is literal meaning, spring water. But then if I say to you, oh, you know, that guy is ayn, okay, of let's say fiqh, means he's the spring of the, means he's unique. He's unique in the knowledge of fiqh. So it is in the root of like something coming out. Do you understand? Like a life-giving water. Do you understand? So in one root, there is only one literal meaning. Okay, so based on that, ala, so the literal meaning is actually being on top of something. And everything else will be metaphoric. So based on that, so even when you're necessitating, so that is metaphor. That's how it should be. Okay, but from what we can understand from Imam Shashi, it looks like that he holds opinion that both of them are literal meaning. ولهذا, so based on that, لو قال, are you guys understanding? Are you guys understanding the discussion, or am I like a person, okay, dancing, okay, thinking that everyone is enjoying, okay, because I can see that everyone is laughing, like Mowgli, you know, and I'm dancing, but then I don't want to assume later that you guys, you are not laughing because you were enjoying, but you was laughing at me, you know. I don't want to get that feeling later. Okay. ولهذا لو قال, so based on that, if someone says لفلان علي ألف يحمل على الدين, okay, so if someone says لفلان, for someone, علي, upon me, 1,000 pounds, so it means I owe someone 1,000 pounds. So يحمل, so it will be understood as على الدين, like debt. بخلاف, so it is opposite to the following example. ما لو قال, if someone says عندي, okay, so I have some money which belongs to someone, okay, أو معي, with me, أو قبلي, with me, actually, on my side. Okay, so all of that means all of these three statements mean that wadi'a. Okay, wadi'a means let's suppose that you are traveling, so just you leave something with me so that I can look after that. So that's wadi'a. What is the difference between wadi'a and dayn, Sayyidi? Any of you guys? What's the difference?
Sheikh, is it with the wadi'a you can't use it, but with the dayn, like you have to give it back. You know, you can use it, but then you have to give it back. That.
Okay. Right. Yes. Yeah. One of the differences, and the second is the most important.
One is amana.
Excellent. So one is amana, and the second is madmoon. That is dhaman, like a compensation. Okay, excellent. Okay, so then he says, وعلى هذا قال في السير الكبير. So based on the same principle, okay, Imam Muhammad says in Sayr al-Kabir. Well, as you know, we have 6 books of usul, isn't it? Which we call Zahir Riwaya, Al-Jami' al-Kabir and Saghir, Sayr Kabir and Saghir, okay, and Mabsut and Ziyadat. Okay, so these are 6 books of usul. So it is one of them. إذا قال رأس الحصن or رئيس الحصن. What is in your copy? I think. إذا قال رأس الحصن. Okay, so رأس like head. Okay, head of the castle, palace. Okay, so it's like a battle. أمنوني على 10 من أهل الحصن ففعلنا. So if that head of the castle says, give me asylum, okay, for 10 people from the people who are in the Hisn. Hisn means castle. So ففعلنا. So we gave asylum. فالعشرة سواه وخيار التعيين له. So it means that 10 besides him, and he has the choice of choosing who are these 10, because he said aminuni, so give me asylum ala 10, upon 10, means him and another 10, and he will choose who are these 10. So we're giving him choice of choosing these 10 because ala, so he said on, so means he is the head of choosing who are these 10. Okay, Sayyidi. Then he says, وَلَوْ قَالَ آمِنُونِي. Yes, آمِنُونِي. Because if you say آمِنُونِي, so you are seeking like a secret, a promise for secret. آمِنُونِي وعشرة أو فعشرة أو ثم عشرة ففعلنا فذلك وخيار التعيين للآمن. So, but if he says, give me asylum and for 10 other people also, okay, so in that case, so that will be 11, 10 besides him, but the person who gave him the asylum, he will choose who are these 10, because in here he did not say ala, okay, he said aminuni wa asharatan, or fa, okay, or wa ma'i ashara, okay. Well, all of them, as you can see 10, as you can see, like linguistic things. So even in our time, it could be different, okay. So because as you know, language evolves, you understand. So so the most important thing for us is to understand the principles. So if we understand the principles, we can implement it correctly, okay. So even in our time, just by learning for the meanings of the contemporary the contemporary meanings of the ancient words, so we can implement the same principle. So most important thing is the principle. وقد يكون على بمعنى الباء مجازا. Yeah, so here what we said is correct. So he says ala sometimes could have the meaning of ba, okay, which means with, okay, and then he says majazan, metaphorical. So it means that Imam Shashi radiallahu anhu believes that ala had 2 literal meanings, okay. One is ilzam, and the default meaning is tafawuq and ta'alli, okay. So that is his opinion, okay. Okay, so مجازا حتى لو قال بعتك هذا على 1000. So if someone says, I'm selling it to you على 1000, okay, so ala in here means with, ba means for, okay, for 4,000, for example. لقيام دلالة المعارضة. Why? Because context is actually showing that there is معارضة. معارضة means like offer, counter offer, okay. So it means this for that, okay, doing art, offering. So because of that, it's not like on top of this on top of that, okay, but it is this for that. because offer from both sides. Okay, Saidi. Is it mu'arada? It should be mu'awada. Mu'awada, yes. Mu'awada, iwad, like a compensation. Okay, like a, so both should be fine actually. Okay, so then he says, وَقَدْ يَكُونُ عَلَى بِمَعْنَى الشَّرْط. And sometimes ala could mean like condition. So for example, I'm doing this with a condition that X, Y, Z. Okay, so قال الله تعالى, for example, Allah says, يبايعونك على ألا يشركن يبايعنك على ألا يشركن بالله شيئا. Okay, so if you remember ممتحنة. Yeah, ممتحنة. إن جاءتك المهاجرات إن جاء, what was the verse? مهاجرات فامتحنوهن. Okay, so that's the. So Allah says, if women, okay, from Quraysh, from pagans, will come, okay, migrate, okay, and then they take mubay'a, bay'a, okay, bay'a, as you know, like a mu'ahada, or what do we call it, like bay'a, what do we call in English? So making promise or taking oath, or what, like to the leader. What do we call the bay'a in English?
Pledge.
Sorry.
A pledge.
Yeah, yeah. So if they will make bay'ah to you, but ala alla yushrikna billah, okay, with a condition. So bay'ah about what? Okay, with which condition? What's the condition of the bay'ah? So he says ala. So ala in here means bishart. Okay, with the condition of la yushrikna billahi shay'an, so they do not commit shirk. ولهذا قال أبو حنيفة إذا قالت لزوجها طلقني ثلاثا على 1000 فطلقها واحدة لا يجب Sayyidi Bilal, do I have female students today online?
Ordon Sharif is here as well.
Can you sack her, because because now these women, you cannot trust them, you know, because look, he says, if a lady says to her husband, Abu Hanifa said that, so lady says to her husband, divorce me 3 times, okay, for 1,000 pounds, okay, or for 3,000 pounds. The husband is smart, Hanbali, so he wants to play. He wants to take money, but does not want to divorce also. So he divorces once, thinking that he will get 1,000. Abu Hanifa said, divorce is valid, but she does not have to pay any money. Yeah, so because what was the condition? Because condition of earning entire money was by divorcing 3 times, but he did not divorce 3 times, means condition is not met, money is not compulsory. Hanafi women, okay. So that's why I say Hanafis is in the bat, you know, we are as husbands and we are as wives, we can beat everyone, you know, and everything also. It was big mistake, you know, for Boris Johnson to let us in Hanafis in the UK. Now we are going to sack him also, you know, by our Hanafi way, you know. Okay, Sayyidi. So he says, لأن الكلمة ها هنا تفيد معنى, because ala in here means a condition, okay. فيكون الثالث شرطا, because so based on that, all 3 is condition for the necessity of the compensation, you know, like a payment. So no condition is not met, so payment is not necessary based on that. Okay, so فصل كلمات في. Sayyidi, you know, obviously I can continue, but so shall we just continue, because revision, I'm afraid that revision is going to be a bit difficult. I can continue. So as we said, I'm ready to continue till 5, you know, but from what I can see, we are doing a lot. So I don't know, I mean, if revision and understanding, shall we just continue?
I think it's okay, Sheikh. I think it is straightforward. It's
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we take a break if you want to.
No. I'm perfectly fine. Okay, guys, because we are doing a lot, so just do one thing for me, please. Okay, just have your exercise book and do just, for example, the word of hatta. Okay, and then very like brief notes. Literal meaning is X. Metaphoric, but for the literal meaning, we need two conditions: X, Y, and then literal metaphoric meaning X, Y, Z. That's it, and just memorize that. Okay, because going through all of that is a bit like you know. Okay, so فصل كلمة في. So في is للظرف. Okay, so it means ظرف. ظرف means in the time or in the place. وباعتبار هذا الأصل قال أصحابنا. So based on this principle, so في is for the ظرف. So based on that, our مشايخ said, إذا قال غصبت ثوبا في منديل أو تمرا في قوصرة لزماه جميعا. Okay, so if someone says, I made غصب, how to translate the غصب into English? So it's not سرقة, it's not stealing. How to translate? Who knows? غصب. Taking forcefully, isn't it?
Maybe snatched.
No, snatching. That is nashal. Snatching is like taking and running, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is nashal. So sariqa, secretly. Nashal, during the heedlessness time, running. Ghasib is consciously. So person is aware. So there is strength, you know, power. So taking because of that. Ghasib. Taking forcefully, isn't it? Do I have one word? We don't have them, do we?
Maybe looting.
Looting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if someone says, I have taken thoban, fabric, fi mindilin. Okay, in the mindil is so mindil is how to translate mindil? So mindil, it could be like a handkerchief also, and mindil is also just piece of fabric which you carry for your duties. So when you're sweating, just to remove, or as like a ghutra, you know, as like a cover. So that's the mindil. So he says, I have taken thobe, fabric, okay, in a mindil, okay, or tamran, date, fi qawsara. Qawsara is basket, you know, basket of obviously, do you know that the basket of the tamar. Okay, so it will be like a from the bamboo leaf. Okay, so it will be like so it's not like basket, but it's like a so that is the qawsara. So I made ghasb of tamar in the qawsara. So it means both. He has taken both. Okay, so it's not that it was in the qawsara and I have taken. No. It means that he took it and he took the qawsara also. لازمه جميعا. So both will be necessary. I mean to return back. ثم هذه الكلمة تستعمل في الزمان والمكان والفعل. Okay, so this fi is used in terms of time and space, definitely, and in terms of the action also. أما إذا استعملت في الزمان بأن تقول أنت طالق غدا. So for example, if you use it in terms of a time بأن يقول أنت طالق غدا. So for example, so is it غدا or is it في غد in your copy? أنت طالق غدا. Okay, because he's giving example of في being used in the time. So he should say أنت طالق في الغد, isn't it? Because he's not giving us example of time, but he's giving us example of fi, meaning time, fi being used in the time. So someone says, Anti taliq, you are divorced, غدا, tomorrow. Yeah, so where is fi? Okay. فقال أبو يوسف محمد يستوي في ذلك حذفها وإظهارها. So he says, Abu Sufyan Muhammad says, in this matter, regardless if you mention it في غد or you delete it, for example, as he mentioned, غدا. Okay, so both are same. أنت طالق غدا في غد. You know, in Arabic language, we have this principle. Okay, so he says, الحذف أولى من الإضمار. Okay, so like removing or not having something which is intended but not spoken, that is better than to intend something. Okay, because there's extra act, isn't there? Okay, so anyway, it is pure Athari mindset, I would say. Obviously, Imam Shafi'i says that Imam Muhammad was high standard linguist. Okay, well, that's definitely without disputable. However, Imam Muhammad was faqih. Okay, so his language is the language of the fuqaha. So but for example, we have Hamadani. Okay, so we have, for example, Ibn Manzur. So these category of people, for example, Asma'i and all of these linguists. So they are linguists. Okay, so anyway, hatta, for example, Sibawayh. Okay, so if like a linguistic principle of Sibawayh, okay, so who was again Hanafi, will contradict with what Imam Muhammad says. Definitely what Sibawayh says is more reliable because it is his field. حتى لو قال أنت طالق في غد كان بمنزلة قوله أنت طالق غدا. Okay, so it will be similar. So mentioning fi and not mentioning are equal. Okay, so now someone can come and say, okay, so in here غدا غدا in here because it's mansub. Okay, so means the mahdhuf in here is not harf, which is fi, but mahdhuf in here is, for example, kawn. Do you know the af'al amma? And he will have more right because it's mansub. Understand? So, okay, so anyway. So يقع الطلاق كما طلع الفجر في الصورتين جميعا. So in both of the scenarios, so regardless you say أنت طالق في غد or you say أنت طالق غدا. So in both of the scenarios, so the divorce will occur as soon as nahar will happen. Okay. Now my question to you guys: when shar'i nahar happens? Yes, Sadie.
The sub-sadiq.
Exactly, yes. So because as you know, nahar, okay, so nahar is opposite of layl. And obviously, nahar has got several parts, isn't it? So first we have fajr, then ishraq, and then dahwa, okay, and then zawal, okay, and then so that's how it happens, okay, and so that how so several, but then nahar is not part of this. Nahar includes all of, and also layl also, okay. For example, sahar is part of layl, okay. Yeah, so just keep it in your mind, okay. وذهب أبو حنيفة رحمه الله إلى أنها إذا حذفت يقع الطلاق كما طلع الفجر. وإذا أظهر كان المراد وقوع الطلاق في جزء من الغد في سبيل الإبهام فلولا وجود. That is definitely more reliable. So Abu Hanifa says, if you say, if you do not mention fi, so if you say you are divorced tomorrow, so it's exactly as Sahban said. So Subh Sadiq, divorce is there. But when fi is mentioned, definitely fi in here means the time, okay. But then he says fi juz'in min al-ghadi, so it will happen in some time within tomorrow, okay. And a husband has a right to explain, okay. So then he says, for example, after midday. فلولا وجود النية يقع الطلاق بأول الجزء لعدم المزاحم له. So obviously, according to Abu Hanifa, also if he does not have specific intention, okay. So if he says, well, I didn't intend any time, so it means it will be straight after Subh Sadiq also, because his intention supposed to be clarifying the time. So he does not have clarification, means as soon as subh salah happens, so divorce is that. So that is more reasonable, okay? Because ghadan, that is mansub, okay? And harf, as you know, it is weak, okay? So harf, which is mahdhuf, okay, is very weak to effect on the zahir. But fi'al is definitely strong. It can affect, okay, on the zahir. Okay, so that's why. So Abu Hanifa is more stronger linguistically in this mas'ala. I'm not really sure if it's his actual position or if it's takhrij. ولو نوى آخر النهار صحت نيته. But if he will intend the last part of the nahar, so definitely we do accept it. ومثال ذلك في قول الرجل إن صمت الشهر إن صمت or إن صمتي الشهر فأنت كذا. So if he says, for example, to his wife, if you fast the entire month, so then you are such and such, means, for example, you are divorced, or I will take you to Hajj, for example. فإنه يقع على صوم الشهر. So it will include the entire month. ولو قال إن صمت في الشهر فأنت كذا يقع ذلك على الإمساك ساعة من الشهر. That is definitely reliable. So, but if he says, if you fast within the month, or if you fast in a month, in the month, so it will mean just fasting any time within the month. Definitely that makes sense. So it's, you know, he's making takhrij, tafriya, based on the principle of Abu Hanifa, which he mentioned. You know, fi mentioned, or fi is intended and not mentioned. Okay. Yeah, so obviously, yeah, so Imam Shashi definitely was great usuli, you know. Yeah, he's more, sometimes he's more usuli than faqih. So it's more than three authors in the book. Wa amma fil makan. So if you remember, he said fi is used in terms of time and space, and also the action, if you remember. So he says, so the above examples and principles to do with the timing, with the time. Wa amma fil makan. But in terms of fi, when it is used in terms of for the space, فمثل قوله. So for example, أنت طالق في الدار وفي مكة يكون ذلك طلاقا على الإطلاق في جميع الأماكن. So if you say you are divorced outside of the house, okay, so it will be divorced everywhere. So why we cannot take what he's saying literally? Who can explain why it's not possible that she's divorced outside of the house? Yes, please.
Is the divorce the insha, and then he has to then, so there's that option of clarifying it. So, but if you
he's
say
clarifying, he's clarifying outside of the house.
But in this case, like it's not conditional, and a divorce is like, a divorce isn't based on like a place. So because it's not a condition, you disregard it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So because it's not possible that as soon as, for example, she goes out, she's divorcee there, and when she comes back, divorce is no, it's not possible. Okay. But if he intends, when you go out from the house, you are divorced. So is it valid intention or not?
Yeah, because that's a condition.
So means conditioning with the space is valid, but Shashi says no, it's not valid. So condition attached to the space is valid, but he says no, it's not valid. So how to understand?
Is in this situation, this isn't a condition then? So it's not a condition of going, like if you are divorced if you go outside, but it's more like you are divorced if you are outside.
Okay, so now just clarify. Okay, so your answer is correct. Yes. So space in our mas'ala is disregarded with regards to the divorce, but also it is accepted. So when it is accepted and when it is not accepted. Yes, please.
Sorry, I'm not sure, Sheikh. Not sure.
Okay, so obviously you cannot condition the divorce with the space. So you cannot say you are divorced in Manchester, okay, intending that inside of the Manchester you are divorcee, but when you come out, divorced. No, you cannot do that. But you can attach the condition to the time. Okay, but Manchester in here is arrival to Manchester, means divorce will be permanent after the arrival. Do you understand? So you're attaching the divorce to the time of or to the action and not to the space. Okay. So he says, Anti طالق في الدار. So you're divorced in the yard, in the backyard, for example. أو في مكة, for example, you're divorced in Mecca. يكون ذلك طلاقا على الإطلاق. But so that will be like a divorce, like general divorce. في جميع الأماكن, or everywhere. وباعتبار معنى الظرفية قلنا إذا حلف على فعل وأضافه إلى زمان أو مكان فإن كان الفعل مما يتم بالفعل يشترط كون الفاعل في ذلك الزمان أو المكان وإن كان الفعل يتعدى إلى محل يشترط كون المحل في ذلك الزمان والمكان لأن الفعل إنما يتحقق بأثره وأثره في المحل. Okay, so it is just a bit of like a more like a rational thing. Okay, so now let's based on that, because phi means the space. Okay, so if you attach the action to the space, we have to look. Is action performed by the doer, or is it done by the object, maf'ul, by itself? Okay, so if it is done by the doer, file, so the file has to be in that space. But if it is performed, if the action is completed by the maf'ul, so we require only the maf'ul to be in that space. Okay, so that is the actual principle. Now let's look into the example. قال محمد في الجامع الكبير إذا قال إن شتمتك في المسجد فكذا فشتمه وهو في المسجد والمشتوم خارج المسجد يحنث. For example, if I will say to you, if I insult you in the mosque, so then I will fast 3 days. Okay. So let's suppose in this scenario, now my question to you guys, please answer me. So this action, okay, is this action completed by the file only, or does it require the maf'ul bihi also to complete, to fulfill? Yes. So insulting someone, okay, so insulting, the action of insulting, is it completed by the doer only, or does it require the maf'ul bihi also?
It requires the maf'ul.
Insulting.
It requires the maf'ul.
So insulting requires maf'ul. So if there is no maf'ul, so act of insulting is not fulfilled, isn't it? Cannot be done. What do you think? Insulting. Can you insult? So so action of insulting, is it completed just by doer, or do we need the maf'ul bihi also? What do you think?
could it be just the fa'il? Because if you insult someone, like you could still insult someone and they don't know, but you still insulted them.
Yeah, but someone is there, isn't it?
So like using that, we can say one person fulfills insulting
Without
himself.
maf'ul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, I will use the insulting words. Am I insulting or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Means insulting is fulfilled just by doer. Understand? So and compare that to beating. So beating, okay, beating, does it require the maf'ul bihi or not?
Yeah, it would do, because it passes on to the
Exactly,
objective.
because when you say I have beaten and you are just exercising, so you are not beating, you know. So beating is actually requires someone that you are beating. Understand? Okay, but insulting, so when you use the insulting word, so actually linguistically you are insulting. Do you understand? So do you see that slight difference? Okay, so that's what he's saying. So means when you use the word of fi about the action. So in that case, we look into the action. If action is fulfilled by fa'il himself, means fa'il has to be in that space. Okay, but if so based on that, if someone says, if I insult you in the mosque, okay, so in Arabic language, if I insult you in the mosque, so then I will fast 3 days. Okay, so in that case, you are in the mosque and I am outside of the mosque, and then I insult you. Do I have to fast 3 days or not? So according to Arabic language, in here, the space is attached to the action, and action requires only, it is fulfilled only by the fa'il, means only, fa'il has to be in that space. Do you understand? But if the action requires maf'ulun bihi also, so then that maf'ulun bihi has to be in that space. Do you understand? So based on that, if I say to you, if I insult you in the mosque, so then I will fast 3 days. So now I'm inside of the mosque and you are outside. If I insult you, I have to fast 3 days. But if it's other way around, you are in the mosque and I'm outside and I insult you, I don't have to fast because I'm not in the mosque while I have insulted you. Do you understand? But again, it is in Arabic language. Okay, but what about English? So we have to look into the principles of the English language. Okay, so is it similar or not? So إذا قال إن شتمتك في المسجد فكذا. So if I insult you in the mosque, so such and such, فشتمه. So I insulted you وهو في المسجد, and I am in the mosque, والمشتوم خارج المسجد, and you are outside of, so يحنث. So I have broken my promise because the action of insulting, okay, is completed by the doer only. ولو كان الشاتم خارج المسجد والمشتوم في المسجد لا يحنث. But if it's other way around, no. So it's the promise is not broken. ولو قال, so if I say to you in ضربتك, if I beat you, أو شججتك, or if I شججتك means, you know, like breaking. Okay, so like make bleeding, to make you to bleed, you know, breaking, cutting the, for example, the skin. في المسجد. So if I beat you, okay, in the mosque, so I will take oath, for example, يشترط كون المضروب والمشجوج. So in this scenario, so the مفعول has to be in the mosque. ولا يشترط كون الضارب والشاج فيه. But it's not necessary, it's not condition that I have to be in the mosque also. So you can be praying inside of the mosque. So from outside with, you know, the billiard, that I will strike you, you know, I will still have to fulfill, I'm breaking the oath because maf'ulun bihi, because action is completed by maf'ulun bihi. So maf'ulun bihi is in the mosque. So it means I've broken my promise. Yeah, so you see, yeah, Hanafis. Okay, سيدي. ولو قال إن قتلتك في يوم الخميس فكذا فجرحه قبل يوم الخميس ومات يوم الخميس يحنثه. Yeah, so it's pure linguistic actually. So if someone says, if I kill you on Thursday, okay, so such and such. So in that scenario, this person causes, for example, wounds the person before Thursday, and on Thursday this person dies, means he has broken his promise, because death did actually occur in that, because the act of killing requires maf'ulun bihi, isn't it? So as long as it is bit, I would say, a bit slightly different, because it's not similar. The time is not similar to the space. Okay, anyway. ولو جرحه يوم الخميس ومات يوم الجمعة لا يحنث. Okay, but if he wounds the person on Thursday and that person dies on Friday, so he does not break his promise. It's a bit strange. Anyway, but it's based on the previous principle, ولو دخلت الكلمة في الفعل تفيد معنى الشرط. So if you remember, في is used, if you remember, in terms of space and time, and also in terms of action. So now we're talking about action. So he says in terms of action, it means condition. قال محمد رحمه الله إذا قال أنت طالق في دخولك الدار فهو بمعنى الشرط فلا يقع الطلاق قبل دخول الدار. So Imam Muhammad says, if someone says أنت طالق to his wife, you are divorcee, you are divorced, في دخولك الدار, in your entrance to the backyard, for example. فهو بمعنى الشرط. So in here, في in here, في in this context means condition. So it means you are divorced with condition you going to that house, for example. فلا يقع الطلاق قبل دخول. So it means divorce will not occur before she entering that house. ولو قال أنت طالق في حيضتك إن كان في الحيض وقع الطلاق في الحال وإلا يتعلق الطلاق بالحيض. Okay, so based on the same principle, if someone says to his wife, you are divorced in your monthly period. So if she is now bleeding at monthly period, so divorce will happen straight away, or else it will be conditioned with the next monthly bleeding. وفي الجامع. Okay, so my question to you guys, when he says jami'a, so as you know, we have two jami'as, jami'a صغير and jami'a kabir. What Hanafis refer when they say jami'a? Yes, please.
The صغير.
Yes. So when default condition of jami'a, that it is صغير. Very rarely they refer to jami'a kabir as jami'a. Normally they do specify, saying in jami'a al-kabir. وفي الجامع لو قال أنت طالق في مجيء يوم لم تطلق حتى يطلع الفجر. Okay, so if someone says you are divorced when day enters, okay, so it means she will not be divorced until Fajr Subh Sadiq. ولو قال في مضي يوم إن كان ذلك في الليل وقع الطلاق عند غروب الشمس من الغد لوجود الشرط. Okay, but if he says you are divorced when day goes, okay, so that means until the sunset. وإن كان في اليوم تطلق حين تجيء من الغد تلك الساعة. So, but if it is during the daytime, okay, so it means it will be referring to 24 hours. Day means, so do you know, even in English language, sometimes when we say day, we mean the daytime. But sometimes when we say day, we mean the day. For example, day of your birth, for example, 2nd of October. Okay, day in here does not refer to the light, daytime. Okay, do you understand? So based on that, this word of day, it will refer to the day, 24 hours, okay, or daylight time, depending on when are you saying it. So if you are saying it at night, so means you mean the daytime. But if you are already in the day, okay, so means it is 24 hours. Okay, so that's what he's saying. وفي الزيادات ziyadat in Arabic language means extras. Okay, so does it mean that Imam Muhammad has written ziyadat for some book? So if so, so which book is that for? So means he has written some book and then he missed out something, and in the book of ziyadat he's just catching up with the missed examples. So what is that book? So when we say ziyadat, so ziyadat of which book are we referring to?
The Mabsut.
Yes, ziyadat of Mabsut. Yes, so he has written Mabsut, and then ziyadat means ziyadat of. So it is two books actually. Some of our mashayikh, they say Zahir Riwaya of 5. They include ziyadat into the Mabsut actually. Okay, so it is Mabsut, and ziyadat is just tale of. So it's one book. Understand? So it is like a 3 twins. Jami' Saghir Kabir, Sair Saghir Kabir, Mabsut Ziyadat. Okay, so it is 3 twins. So in the Ziyadat, if someone says, just for your information, guys, so do not take it wrong. So because when some of Mashayikh say 5 books of Zahir Riwaya, so that is one meaning, and another meaning is actually Ziyadat is not part of the Zahir Riwaya. So some Mashayikh do not, so they say Ziyadat is one of the Nawadir. So there is no like unanimous, even though we have official position. So قال, so he said, أنت طالق في مشيئة الله تعالى أو في إرادة الله تعالى. Okay, so that will also mean the condition. So no divorce will occur. So if someone says you are divorced by the will of God, okay, or you're divorced in the will of God, في مشيئة الله. Okay, so it means بشرطي, with the condition of the will of God. So we do not issue the divorce. لا تطلق in this مسألة. Allah. Okay, Sayyidi. Fasl.
The last one, why did he say when fi comes onto a fi'l, it gives the ma'na of shart? It didn't come onto a fi'l in any of the examples.
Because irada is action, isn't it? Will. Okay, or dukhul. So fi'al in here does not mean like a linguistic, I mean, grammatic, nahwi fi'al.
Oh, it's a literal.
Literal, yeah. So because it's like action, isn't it? Dukhul is action. It's not like a nahwi fi'al. It is ism from nahwi point, but it is action in terms of fi'al. Yeah. Okay, Sayyidi. So ba. Let's see. Okay. فصل حرف الباء للإلصاق. Okay, الباء means إلصاق. إلصاق means attaching. So that is في وضع اللغة. So it is in the default condition, linguistic condition. باء means إلصاق. Okay, so attaching. ولهذا تسحب الأثمان. So that's why باء in the fiqhi or in the even linguistically it comes to describe the payment. Okay, so just keep it in your mind. Also in the judgment, if you are, because sometimes it will be exchange of 2 commodities. So for example, barley, okay, exchanged, let's say, for the wood. So which is the mabi' and which is the thaman? Okay, so we say thaman is the thing which was attached to the bar. So for example, I will come to you saying, اشتريت الشعير بالخشب. Okay, so means khashab in here is the thaman, because ba all the time comes with the thaman. So the importance of this mas'ala is because you know the halak al-thaman does not invalidate the transaction. Do you remember? But halak of musamman, the halak of mabi'a, it may affect on the validity of the transaction. Yeah. وتحقيق هذا, just to clarify this above point, is أن المبيع أصل في البيع, because the main element of selling is the sold item. والثمن شرط فيه, but ثمن is just extra, a condition. ولهذا المعنى هلاك المبيع يوجب ارتفاع البيع دون هلاك الثمن. So based on that, okay, so as I said, if the fundamental thing, which is the commodity, sold commodity, if it is, for example, damaged or vanished, okay, so it will affect on the validity, okay, but دون هلاك الثمن, but not the halak of the ثمن. إذا ثبت هذا, so if this is understood, فنقول, so based on that we say الأصل أن يكون التبع ملصقا بالأصل. So based on that, the branch should be attached to the foundation. لا أن يكون الأصل ملصقا بالتبع. So it's not other way around. فإذا دخل حرف الباء في البدل في باب البيع دل ذلك على أنه تبع ملصق بالأصل. So if ba is coming with the payment, so means payment, and so payment is attached to the asl, and the asl is the مبيع. فلا يكون مبيعا فيكون ثمنا. So because of that, so because what is attached to what? So do you attach the son to the father or father to son? Okay, so you attach the son to the father. So means the fundamental condition is the father. So same thing. Okay, so you attach the thaman. So because ba means attachment, so you're attaching the thaman to the mabi'. So that's why mabi' is asl. وعلى هذا قلنا. So based on that we said إذا قال بعت منك هذا العبد بكر من الحنطة. Okay, so I am selling you this slave for, let's say, 1 liter of wheat. ووصفها. Okay, and then you have clarified the wheat. يكون العبد مبيعا والكر ثمنا. So obviously in this mas'ala, the slave is the mabi', and that quantity of the wheat, okay, is the thaman. فيجوز الاستبدال قبل القبض. So you can replace. So you can replace. You can replace the wheat, okay, before the qabd, before making the payment, because the payment is not the initial thing in the mas'ala, but the initial thing is the slave. So you cannot replace the slave saying, oh, I'm not selling this, but no, you cannot do that. But you can replace the thaman. ولو قال, but if someone says بعت منك كرة من الحنطة ووصفها بهذا العبد, okay, so if you say I am selling you this quantity of wheat بهذا العبد, by this slave, so means the thaman is the slave, والكر and the wheat is the mabi'. ويكون العقد سلما لا يصح إلا مؤجل. So in this mas'ala, so this aqd is the salam, okay, and it will be actually in terms of like time, okay, so later collection. وقال علماؤنا إذا قال لعبده إن أخبرتني بقدوم فلان فأنت حر. Okay, so if I say to my slave, if you inform me about the arrival of such and such person, so then you are free. فذلك على الخبر الصادق ليكون الخبر ملصقا بالقدوم. So that is in terms of the true information. Okay, so it's not just informing me, okay, because بقدومي, by the arrival of that person. فلو أخبر كاذبا لا يعتق. So if he will lie, if he will inform me, but just lying, so he will not be free because it's not attached. His arrival is not attached in terms of informing me. ولو قال, if he says, إن أخبرتني إن أخبرتني أن فلانا قدم فأنت حر. Okay, but if he says, if you will tell me that that person came, you are free. فذلك على مطلق الخبر. So that is about just telling him. Okay, so it's not like informing him by arrival of that person. So by arrival in here attached to the arrival, but in here if you tell me that he came, okay, so not attached to actual arrival. فلا أخبره كاذبا عتق. And also if you will inform him just lying, so he will be free. Hanafis, so that's why I don't trust you guys, you know. You Hanafis are very dodgy people, deceptive people, you know. Hanbal is right, Athar is right to not to trust you guys, because you do all of these kadhib business, you know. Okay, Sayyidi. ولو قال لامرأته, so if you say to your wife, إن خرجت من الدار إلا بإذني فأنت كذا, تحتاج إلى الإذن كل مرة إذ المستثنى خروج ملصق بالإذن. Okay, so obviously it is linguistic thing. So if someone says to his wife, if you leave the house except by my permission, so then you are divorced. So it means that it is for each time, just to avoid the divorce, for each time she needs permission. Okay, because only the exemption is leaving the house by permission. Okay. ولو قال, so if he says إن خرجت من الدار إلا أن آذن لك فذلك على الإذن مرة حتى لو خرجت مرة أخرى بدون الإذن لا تصل. But if he says, if you leave the house except if I give you permission. Okay, so it's just linguistic thing. It does not work in English. So that is in terms of permission once. So she asks permission once, and after that she can just leave without permission. So it's as you can see, it's just linguistic thing. وفي الزيادات إذا قال أنت طالق بمشيئة الله تعالى أو بإرادة الله تعالى أو بحكمه لم تطلق. So again, it's the same. If she says you are divorced except you are divorced by the will of God, okay, or by the judgment of God, okay, so she will not be divorced. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so I think that much should be enough, because the next is the bayan. Okay, so different types of bayan taqrir, bayan tafsir, bayan darura, bayan sukut. Okay, we'll see. Most likely we can finish it off in one day, so then we can start the sunnah. Yeah, I think we can do it in one day. Yes. Okay, so that much should be enough, and inshallah I will see you next Saturday.
Sheikh, could I ask a question, please?
Yes.
When you mentioned about the Hanafi usul and the mutakallimin,
Yeah.
can you explain why that is? Because I think just in general, it's known like the Hanafis are attributed with being, you know, like rational, and
Yeah,
the
you know,
mutakallimin are
it
like
is just
textual.
it is only to do with how usul fiqh was established, and not the if not in terms of the nature. So Hanafis are rationalists, okay, but how usul was established, how it was written. So the mutakallimin way, it was written by rational proofs, but Hanafi way is by extraction. So as you can see, it was written by extracting the qawaid from the texts of the imams, you know.
Sheikh,
So
why did they go with that direction rather than that the mutakallimin setting it up right there and then?
Yeah, so it's a valid question. So we should ask them, you know, we should ask the Shashi, you know. Yeah. So that was the way. And if you just look into the mutakallimin, they do the exactly same thing, you know. Yeah, but anyway. Okay, so is that all?
Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan. I will see you next Saturday. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Jazakallah.